Ever wonder how Othello went from this
Keep up your bright swords, for the dew will rust them.
to this? Yeah, me too. So let's explain the tragedy of Othello by William Shakespeare. Okay, so Othello in a nutshell is a play of tragedy similar to other plays of Shakespeare such as Macbeth. But Othello is quite different. The play depicts Othello, the protagonist of the play, who is the general of the Venetian army. He's in a relationship with Desdemona, and at the start, he is in the setting of Venice, Italy. But because the play is set in the Elizabethan era, around the 1600s, Othello was commonly exposed to racial prejudice as the characters of the play used derogatory terms such as the word Moor to identify Muslims or people of color. And then the Moorish Othello was born. So, how does this relate to a tragic play? To put it straightforwardly, Iago is the main antagonist of the play. He uses his manipulative tactics, cynical perceptions, and deep-seated desire to take control of others. Iago spends a significant amount of his time using the flaws and vulnerabilities of Othello and others to his own advantage. Specifically, he used racial derogatory terms to bring down Othello and his reputation because of his strong hatred of Othello. For context, this is because prior to the play, Othello took away Iago's lieutenant title and gave it to Cassio, who is another character we'll explore later on. While it isn't mentioned in the actual play, it makes a great deal of sense why the play starts out with Iago's deep hatred of Othello. See, the pieces are merging together now, aren't they? It is because of the Venetian setting, the role of Othello, and the Elizabethan era that Iago uses to his own advantage. Still confused? Don't worry, let's explain Act 1. Act 1 Scene 1 starts out with Rodrigo and Iago having a chat, and as I mentioned before, Iago is expressing his deep hatred for Othello towards Rodrigo. A little side note, Iago was talking to Rodrigo in the first place because Rodrigo has an incredible flaw that Iago exploits in the play. Due to Rodrigo's obsession with Desdemona and finding that Desdemona is married to Othello, he also naturally seems to dislike Othello, being a great partner for Iago's flawless plans later on. Alright, back to scene 1. We see Iago's soliloquy where he establishes his manipulative nature through these specific lines over here. This indicates that Iago is looking out for his own self-interest and he solely has to follow Othello because of his greater hierarchy role in being a general towards society. See, I told you, Othello's role and status result in Iago's ability to become more subtle with his plans and actions throughout the play. This is evident in the text, "I am not what I am," which reveals his internal conflict of appearance versus reality, revealing his capacity to hide feelings and motives so that his actions, strategies of manipulation, and internal thoughts are not revealed to other characters. Right now, it may seem a little bit confusing and all wrapped around the head, but it is really important to know the context of why Iago is the main antagonist of the play. This will come in handy in answering later questions such as external influences of Othello's downfall, which will be Iago, of course. So now we know Iago simply acts as a friend towards Othello, but in reality, he envies him every moment and every chance he gets. Later on in scene 1, both Iago and Rodrigo go to Brabantio, who is Desdemona's father, expressing how Othello and Desdemona are in a relationship without his knowledge. As again, prior to the play, both characters came together and secretly married one another without the knowledge of Brabantio. We see Iago portraying Othello as a black ram towards Brabantio, and the following lines over here that shows sexual imagery while also animalism through portraying Othello as an animal, specifically a black ram. This further adds to Iago's cynical nature and perception, manipulating Brabantio and igniting a raging fire to also dislike Othello, as Iago ruined Othello's reputation through using common Elizabethan language to appeal to others, having a greater advantage for himself. Aha, see, the Elizabethan and Venetian setting of the play gives Iago the advantage, as we said before, of becoming a master manipulator, meaning that the setting of the play drastically impacts the ability and roles of each character. We see this through the shift from Venice to Cyprus, which we will cover later on. Act 1 ends with Brabantio yelling to take the lights and his officers to fight Othello, continuing the play into Act 1 Scene 2. To summarize Act 1 Scene 1 and the play's progression so far, we see Othello is set in Venice and reveals Iago, the antagonist, and his main motives towards Othello. We recognized how the play's setting, the role of Othello, and the Elizabethan period impacts Othello. We know that because of Iago's influential characteristics, we can predict that Iago will be the main cause of Othello's tragic downfall we saw at the start of the video. It is because of factors such as Iago that makes Othello a tragic figure. Anyways, I'm running out of time here, so hopefully I explained some of Act 1 Scene 1 and maybe concise Othello a little bit more so it's easier to understand. And if I missed anything, please let me know in the comments section down below, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all later where I will be explaining the next acts and scenes of Othello. Thank you.